What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Red Seat Radio. My name is Corbin, and as the Red Sox season has kind of fully crumbled in front of our eyes, although they did beat the Rays Friday night, I'm not entirely sure what they did Saturday night, as I'm recording this Saturday morning because I'm going to the game Saturday night. Either way, the season has kind of crumbled in front of us. I figured this would be kind of the perfect time to bring back a series on this channel that was really popular before the season. That's Fenway Futures. If you don't know what Fenway Futures is, it's a series on this channel where we take a look at one of the top prospects in the Red Sox farm system. We talk about who they are, how they play, and what their career on the Boston Red Sox may look like. And today we're going to be focusing on a newcomer to the top 10 list for Red Sox prospects, a guy who's been getting some pretty crazy MLB comparisons. So that's what we're talking about today. But before we get into that, do me a favor, make sure you guys have hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you're new here, we talk Red Sox content almost every single day. Also, make sure you guys have hit the like button on this video as well. Helps out a ton and would mean a lot to me. Thank you all very much for clicking on this one. Let's get into it. The player I want to talk about today is Ceddanne Rafaela. Rafaela is a Red Sox prospect born in Cruaco and is 21 years old as of today. He was also signed during the 2017 international free agent signing period. And one of the interesting things to note is that of that 2017 international class, him and Bayo are the top prospects right now. And both of them were signed at the least expensive amount of the entire class. Rafaela only made $10,000 as a signing bonus when he signed to the Red Sox in 2017. Now, currently, Rafaela is ranked 8th in the Red Sox farm system according to Sox prospects, and according to the MLB's official list, Ceddanne is at number 4. Now, I usually like to go off of Sox prospects ranking list, mostly because this is their entire job, is looking at Red Sox prospects, but I always like to throw in the MLB one just so we have something to bounce it off of. One of the other interesting things about this MLB ranking of Rafaela is that he is projected, according to MLB, to be on this Red Sox team in 2023. Now, I don't particularly think that's going to happen, but it's definitely something to make note of. And one of the reasons his stock and the reason he has rapidly grown throughout this Red Sox ranking list is because of what he's done this year. Because before this year, Rafaela's offense wasn't something a lot of scouts highly touted. That changed a little bit this year. He has a shorter, more compact swing that may remind you of a past Red Sox player that we will talk about in a second. But one of the good things about a short, compact swing means you have quick hands and a pretty decent bat speed, and that allows him to make a lot of contact with a lot of pitches. The problem with that approach is that he is very aggressive in the box, which leads to a lot of weak contact and a lot of pitches being hit that are outside of the zone and a very low walk rate. In fact, this year alone, Rafaela has a pretty average strikeout rate at 22.4%, but his walk rate is just 4.3%. That is an issue moving forward. But one of the things I really like about Rafaela is that, in my opinion, approach can be tweaked, right? As you're moving up through the Red Sox farm system, you can work with people to change your approach at the plate. One thing that's really hard to change is your ability to get the bat on the ball, and Rafaela has that naturally. So I'm not entirely concerned with his contact ability, but that is definitely something to keep an eye on as he moves forward throughout this Red Sox system. Now, as for his power and the power side of things, many scouts describe Rafaela's power as sneaky pop. You can see that raw power there, much like Blaze, who we talked about in a past video. This raw power hasn't been fully tapped into and turned into in-game power. When he does have in-game power, it's a lot to the pull side, but in 2022, you start to see that power come through, because in 2022, Rafaela started in high A ball, where he had an average of 330, a slug of 594, and 9 home runs in 45 games with a 155 WRC plus. Those 9 home runs were the most out of any of his career in that amount of plate appearances, and that was enough to earn him a spot on the AA Portland Sea Dogs team, where currently he has a 279 average with a 513 slug and 10 home runs with a 128 WRC plus in 57 games. Again, that home run total topped his past home run total, again, in that amount of plate appearances. It was a little regression from high A to AA, but that's fairly normal when you're talking about prospects, mostly because as you move up, obviously the difficulty of pitching increases. So it's pretty normal to see that regression discussion. The good news with Rafaela is that even though his average dipped about 60 to 70 points, he was able to maintain a still above average WRC plus, which at the end of the day means he's still being a productive player at the plate. The true bright spot in Rafaela's game, and the thing that has really gotten him to this point so far, is that he's a defensive wizard. He can play elite defense at almost any spot on the diamond besides first base and catcher, and that has been shown throughout his career with the Boston Red Sox. He's played almost every position on the field, but so far in AA has really shined in center field. It was enough to earn him the award of Defensive Player of the Year in the Red Sox minor league system for 2021. All of these attributes, when I'm talking about a prospect, can be quantified into numbers, and if you are interested in those, they are on the screen now. And attributes are great and all, and potential is great and all, but really, how good can Rafaela be? I mentioned a comparison in Rafaela's swing to a past Red Sox player, and I really want to show you guys this video. This is Rafaela swinging up compared to Mookie Betts swinging. As you can tell, they are almost identical. In fact, the comparison between the two is so identical, it's pretty insane. And you guys know how I feel about comparing minor league players to really successful major league players, or generational talent in this case, but that comparison by itself is absolutely insane. One of the reasons I don't love doing that is because of the fact that it sets absolutely insane expectations for a guy who's never even stepped foot onto a major league field. And if this guy ends up kind of excelling defensively and is an average MLB hitter, he'll still not be a productive member in a lot of people's eyes because of that Mookie Betts comparison. So I don't love to compare these guys, but that swing is too similar for me to not put that in this video. In my opinion, if we're talking about how good Rafaela can be, all of that is going to ride on whether or not he can change that plate approach. As he gets higher and higher throughout this Red Sox system, he's going to face better and better pitching, and it's going to be more and more difficult for him to be able to make contact and put the ball in play that isn't weak contact, as he faces more difficult pitching if his approach is to swing at basically anything at the plate because he knows he can make contact with it. If Rafaela can adjust his approach and be more selective with his pitches, he has a real possibility of being a 5-tool player because of the fact that he already has the above average speed. We talked about the elite defense and that power potential that could be there within Rafaela's swing that I think personally could come out a lot more if he's more selective with his pitches. But if his approach does not change, that ceiling shrinks a lot. Think about a guy who's more of a utility player than a full-time starting center fielder at the top of your lineup. I still think there's a ton of potential for Rafaela, and what he has done in the past year shows that he has the ability to improve and get better, especially in that power department, as well as the fact that his average has improved massively this year. And those are the reasons his stock has grown so much. And it's one of the reasons why a lot of people are really liking Rafaela, and it's the reason I like Rafaela. The fact that he is able to make those adjustments and produce way more than he has in the past is a very good sign, especially as he moves up throughout the ranks. This is definitely a guy to keep your eye on. But I could be wrong, so let me know in the comment section down below. What do you think of Ceddanne Rafaela? Do you think he could be something special? Do you think he's going to be sort of an average center fielder? Do you think he ends up in that kind of utility role? What are your thoughts on Rafaela down below? As always, if you've made it to the end of this video, do me a favor, make sure you guys have hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you're new here, we talk Red Sox content almost every single day, like I said at the beginning. Also, you made it to the end of this video, you might as well hit that like button as well. Helps out these videos a ton. You clearly enjoy the content, you might as well like it. One more thing, if you really enjoyed this video, share with a friend or family member who loves the Red Sox as much as you do. Thank you all very much for clicking on this one, and I will see you in the Red Seat.